What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the South Side. I was kind of debating on whether or not I should record this, but I guess, to just to be thorough, I'm gonna record it anyway. So today we're gonna replace the wheel bearing as well as the lower control arm. So let's get to it. So the first thing to do is to take off this brake caliper. I already got the bolts loosened up. They're 16 mils. So once you get these bolts out, you can slide the caliper off. Just like that. Make sure you hang it on something. I have a ratcheting strap here. Just gonna put it into one of the bolt holes. And there we go. Nicely supported, as you can see. Next thing to do, brake rotor. The brake rotor screw is a 6 mil hex head. It was already loose. You know, TV magic, YouTube magic. And here's our old wheel hub unit. The actual wheel bearing is kind of in the back of the hub unit. As you can see, the wheel bearing is here. And the old one isn't really bad. It feels good. But we're gonna be replacing it anyway. So to remove the hub unit, you have to chisel this dust plate off. Just grab a flathead screwdriver, or if you have a pry bar or some type of chisel, make a lip in several places on the wheel hub. And that should loosen it enough for you to just pry it off. Ooh, look at that. Easy. So as you can see, this nut is staked. So what you want to do is to get a chisel or something, anything that really fits in there, and you're going to try to unstake it by taking a hammer and your object of choice and just kind of hammering it back out. Doesn't take too much, just some light taps, and it's done. Next, to take the actual nut off, you're going to need a 46 millimeter socket. And preferably an impact, but a breaker bar will work. Butter. Now that our spindle nut is off, wow. I think somebody put some anti-seize on here, but you can see that. Let's see. There's a bit of play in this bearing, so it's a good thing we are replacing it. There are 3 10 millimeter bolts holding this dust cover on. Now that the dust shield is off, I can pry off our bearing seal cover here. Shouldn't take too much work. Watch out for the wheel speed sensor. It's a very expensive mistake if you break it. Beautiful. So now we're actually going to remove our wheel speed sensor. Probably should have done that first. It's a 5 millimeter Allen. And it should turn pretty easily. If not, you may have to give it some PB blaster. My wheel speed sensor looks like it's stuck. I'm just gonna give it a little bit of motivation right here. Be very gentle because it'll be an expensive mistake if you break it, especially if it's not already broken. And as you can see, it is kind of sliding out. And we're out. Sweet. Put that someplace safe. Just gonna clean this shaft right here. Just a clean, dry shop towel. Take a Scotch Brite to the area where the cover was. Not too aggressive or anything, just enough to knock off that little surface rust. Okay, now we're gonna reattach our brake dust shield. Okay, I'm going to give this shaft a nice light coating of grease, mainly because excellent resistance to water, rust, and corrosion under severe duty conditions. That corrosion part is kind of what made it, well, this lack of corrosion part is what made the other bearing easier to take off, so we like that. Okay, so now we slide our dust cover on. So I'm just going to leave it slightly on, and I'm going to let the wheel hub press it back in. The wheel hub, I have the special tool here. I got it from Amazon used. It was like 50 bucks, so why not? Anything to make your life easy. You thread that into the axle shaft here. Alright, hand tight. Next we just slide our hub unit on. Till it stops. Grab the larger socket looking thing. And grab this nut. And an adjustable wrench. Turn slowly. Alright, so I can't turn it anymore, so it's probably good. Let's back it off. This is a 14 mil, by the way. Alright, new hub bearing, baby. Let's go ahead and put the axle nut on. And we can put our dust cover on as well. This nut is torqued to something like 1,000,000 foot-pounds, so I don't really have a torque wrench that goes to 1,000,000, but I do have this little Harbor Freight burner. So I'm just going to use this. It's maxed out. Then we're going to take a little breaker bar and just add a little bit more extra on there. Just like the old nut was staked, I'm going to stake this new nut as well. Same procedure, opposite direction. I put on a thin layer of gasket maker just for extra protection. Gotta be careful out here in these streets. Dead blow hammer. Give it some love. I guess that layer wasn't as thin as I thought. Huge difference. Cosmetically, of course, you know. If you're into that thing, that's you. But for me, it's more functional. This one wasn't bad, but this is new. So this automatically wins, right? That's the way it works. Aight, cool. So we're finished with that. Let's move on to the control arm.